Yes, there were a lot of concerns and questions. People were a little bit concerned about any problems that they would cause with noise, killing birds or animals, how they'd react for the wildlife and owls and bats and different things like that. But to my experience, the wildlife blends right in with them, because when I hunt deer, the deer are all sometimes grazing right underneath the turbines.
Went to a meeting on this topic several years ago. A man stood up and told us that the wildlife would all leave. All we'd ever see was a crow occasionally, and they would never come back. And the fish were leaving Saginaw Bay.
We hear that, they're killing the birds, but yet show us the dead birds, I guess. We haven't seen any.
The effect on wildlife to me has been zero. When I was hunting last year, they had just started up a day or two before that. Deer came out practically underneath the thing, never paid a bit of attention to it.
Livestock is the same thing. They pay no attention to the noise that the wind turbines generate, which is very little noise.
No impact that anyone has brought to our attention on livestock or wildlife. Again, our neighbors in Bethany, I've stood at a livestock feeding facility that's essentially directly underneath the turbine. The guy that owns the land, owns the cattle, leases the turbines, but no complaints. He's doubled the size of his cattle operation since that turbine went up 8 years ago. Has no concerns, no complaints, no conjecture that somehow that's causing any problems.
When I hunt, I go right and park right next to some of the wind turbines sometimes, and I use the roads for access, actually. I've never seen any dead birds under any of the turbines. The turkeys will come right up and graze right underneath of the turbines. They don't really have any fear of them, or they've never harmed them.
I think animals have senses that humans do not. I mean, I know they do. And if the animals do not feel any vibration, any shadow flicker, any et cetera, all these boogeymans, the sky is falling, Chicken Little kind of thing, that tells me that they're not real. I mean, if the animals were scattering and they were looking and they were trembling, I'd say, uh-oh, there's something to that. I have seen none of that from domestic or wild animals.
Yeah, the eagles seem to be on an upswing around this area right now. So we're seeing more than we used to. Used to be pretty rare to see an eagle.